And what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast for UFC Vegas. What is this? UFC Vegas 83. Give our picks, predictions, podcast, all that good stuff. But before we do that, we have to cover this past weekend's UFC news for UFC Austin and give you our fight news and announcements that have been announced over the week. So let's get into it. Yes. I am back from vacation. Feels nice. Not to be back, but just to have that relaxation period that I got there. This is the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. D Rose is on that side of your screen. D Rose, I guess let the people know how you've been over the past week. I've just been kind of getting back into the mood for the most part of living, and it's not fun.
Yeah, no, and I'm kind of on the same boat with you. So a little bit of a more mild case this time, but I did end up coming down with COVID the other day. So if I sound a little bit more congested than what I normally do, that's what it is. So forgive me during the process, but definitely a lighter load of COVID than I had the last bout. The last bout felt like I was damn near on my deathbed. This time around, little slightness and shortness of breath, and then a little bit of just a little bit of congestion, but not nearly as bad. So we survive in being secluded in the household.
Fair enough. I wasn't laughing at you. I was just kind of like reading the comments, and they already have me cracking up. Dude,
The boys are back.
Yeah, the boys are back, feels nice to actually podcast from here, because last week I was on a balcony. It was a nice view and all, but I listened back to the podcast and just terrible audio quality. So I apologize to everyone for last week. The view, hopefully the view made up for how terrible it sounded, but it is what it is. We're back to regular, however you want to say it. Back in the studio, but I'm excited. But one of my favorite parts of the show is the chat. So let's go ahead and shout out the boys. Lush Lomana here, another Golden Wednesday with the boys. We appreciate you for stopping by, Lush Lomana, and rocking the exclusive to one of two Lush Lomana, the Golden Octagon shirt right here. D Rose got the other one, but yeah. And then we got anxious. This is what I was actually laughing at. Anxious to hear Matt speak patois after the big trip. Yeah, man. What's going on, man? How you doing, Chad? Thanks for stopping by, brother. I appreciate you. Thank y'all for my well wishes while I was gone. And Lush Love Main saying, D Rose, my heart goes out to you. FSU got done dirty. Oh no.
I know this is an MMA podcast, but man, I told you Sunday I was seething over that. Lush, I'm telling you, dude, I'm still mad over it. Like, I'm still mad over it. Have not gotten over the Florida State snub in the college football playoffs. I know this is all foreign language to most of you guys, but long story short, there's a voting system in college that gets the top 4 teams into the playoff, and Florida State ended the season undefeated, but was snubbed over 2 teams that had 1 loss. So make it make sense. But again, college football. This is MMA. I'm not talking about that stupid shit right now.
All right. With that being said, let's give y'all the rundown for the show. Up first, we are going to give you our UFC Austin recap. This past weekend, there was some fights, and I'll let y'all know last week that I didn't have the pick champ with me. It was mine. I didn't have it with me, but it'd be nice and pretty when I got back home. And look at it there, D Rose. Still there. Like I said, dude. But we will get into UFC fight news and announcements, everything that got announced over the past week while I've been gone. And we got some bangers to announce. And lastly, we'll give you our picks, predictions. I guess if we're going to make any bets this weekend, D Rose, this card is one that I am like, I'm glad we have UFC fights, but by far not the worst card I've ever seen. But coming down to the end of the year, you would think that a few people are trying to get some fights in, and this just kind of looks like a thrown together card. But from what I heard, this was going to be a China card. It was kind of going to be the Asian market versus the Australian market. And over there, like the venue got canceled or something like that, so they moved it back over here to the Apex. So yeah, dude, I guess that's why this card is what it is. But hey, I've tried to look into it as much as I can so I can bring you my best picks that I possibly can this week. But that's what we'll do lastly on the show: picks, predictions, bets if we're going to make any, and all that good jazz. But D-Rose, anything before we get out of here?
Nah, man. We just we ain't getting out of here. We just getting rolling. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good,
I mean,
I was gonna say I know I got my ass kicked in betting last week. I don't know how everybody else was, but I even hit Matt up, before the fight started, and I said, dude, I have no way in which to bet these fights because I'm not comfortable betting any of them at all. They were either too big of lines or anything like that. So yeah, gambling absolutely kicked my ass this week. So, and I couldn't pick my nose last weekend. So definitely don't take my betting advice going into this weekend.
Yeah, dude, you're not the only one, but we'll get into it. Numbered merch is actually a good gimmick for a YouTube card collecting person. That would be cool, man. Maybe I should have some gold shirts. The one of one black shirt. Everyone loves a black shirt. Just do something stupid like that and see how it does. But yeah. Maybe when the new year starts, I have some big plans for the new year. So I don't want to spill the beans, but yeah, man, let's get into it. UFC Austin recap. Let me just pull up the card real quick. The main event, dude, Beneil Dariush, Arman Tsarukyan, dude. I believe me and you both picked Beneil thinking that he was probably going to knock out Arman just because Arman in his last fight was getting, dropped by, Joaquim Silva that on the same card just went 3 rounds with the Carpenter Clay Guida, didn't even, I don't even know if he hurt Clay Guida hard one time, dude, but he dropped Arman Tsarukyan. So I guess me and you just saw holes in Arman's, I don't want to say his striking, but his striking defense, because he offensively, he's a great striker, but in his defense, sometimes his chin can go up a little bit and he can get cracked, like in his last fight. So I kind of think me and you both thought that, Benny D was going to kind of, expose those holes just a little bit. But, dude, the fight didn't even get there. Arman crushed him in the first round on one leg, too, dude. So it's just what can you do? I guess thoughts on the main event while I get the rest of the card pulled up.
Man, I was definitely crushed for Benny D. I'm a big fan of Benny D, but yeah, I think the big thing for him was it just looked like there was a big speed disadvantage on Benny's side. A big speed advantage for Tsarukyan, and the thing that I thought that Benny could potentially expose was when Tsarukyan fought Gamrot. Tsarukyan was dominating with his takedowns earlier in the fight, but Gamrot, super good cardio. He was really able to kind of put his head down. Gamrot fought through the early storm in rounds 3, 4, and 5, really took over in that fight. So I thought there could be something similar to Beneil Dariush if he was able to withstand the storm early, that he could maybe take out, maybe not take Arman out, but be able to win 3, 4, and 5 and be able to win the fight. Yeah, as you said, Arman didn't even give it a chance to take it there. And that punch almost kind of reminded me of when, oh my gosh,
Umar knocked out
Umar
Nurmagomedov
with Hani Barcelos. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it reminded me of. Was kind of like, I know he threw the feint versus Arman was really throwing the knee, but to kind of have the one leg up in the air, distracting the guy, and then coming with a big punch over the top, really distracted Benny, and that punch landed. And dude, I mean, Benny didn't even get a chance to catch himself. I mean, he looked like he fell off a cliff the way he fell, dude. It was absolutely brutal. And a super good finish for Tsarukyan. So hats off to him for a lights out knockout.
Yeah, man. Co-main event, one of our 3 different picks from this past weekend. Bobby Green, Jalen Turner. And dude, I have it on the thumbnail, none other than, dude, after this fight, it should be, damn, how good is Jalen Turner? But instead is damn, what did Kerry Hadley, like what did Kerry Hadley have against Bobby Green, dude? It's just like, Jesus Christ, man. Can we, dude, I just seen like the dude, what is his name? Like the MMA guru, just, dude, that was me yelling at my TV. I'm like, is he going to stop it? He's going to die. He might be dead, dude. It was just like, 5 or 6 just unnecessary haymakers to a knocked out opponent. We're all just yelling at our TV like, okay, like, what are we like? Hopefully he takes credit for that. And for the most part, Kerry Hadley's been a pretty good referee over the years. We kind of didn't see him for like a long period of time. Like we saw him in the early years, and then like we didn't see him, for a little bit, and then he'd kind of start to pop up here and there. And then now we've kind of been seeing him probably a couple times a month, but he's been pretty good since, my recent memory, but that was just atrocious, dude. It's just like, I don't know what Bobby Green could have done to show them that he was knocked out, dude. It's just like the dude is on the ground like this, and Jalen Turner's just wailing on him, dude. And it was almost like Kerry Hadley's like, damn, somebody should stop this shit. Oh, I'm supposed to stop this shit. Like, that's what it seemed like, dude.
Yeah.
I guess thoughts on the different pick for this weekend. That technically,
I thought that I thought Bobby kind of played a little bit too much, because he was having a little bit of success with that leg stomp he was actually hitting Jalen Turner with. I did think he was actually having some success with that, and I thought he was having pretty good success closing the distance. But again, defensively, he was kind of standing right in Jalen Turner's range, as far as punching range goes. And Jalen Turner throws a lot of hooks. Bobby Green does a lot of straight punches, so I know he didn't want to get too close and smother his own punches. Bobby Green didn't, but I thought that, standing at that distance with Jalen Turner, Jalen Turner is going to end up picking you apart at some point in time if you just end up kind of standing there and being an open target. And as far as the stoppage goes, I mean, the only thing that I could think, Kerry Hadley he had to have the over 1.5 in that fight. Like, he had to have the 1 and over, because 1.5 over. Because I mean, dude, it's like there was nothing that was giving you any sort of indication that Bobby Green was going to get back into the fight. And I was even watching, so I had Florida State on one screen and I had the fights on the other, because I ended up getting off work late last night. So I watched all the main card. I did miss most of the prelims. But I will say that, when he's sitting there getting punched, I mean, I literally pulled my eyes off the football game, because I'm like, dude, stop the fight. And then, like, because Amber was like, we were watching both at the same time. She thought I was talking about a football fight. And I was like, no, they're literally, like, Jalen Turner is killing him. And, it's not even being stopped. It looked like it was, like, one of those, like, those street fights end up, like, just getting taken too far and nobody knows, like, how to stop it. So they're just like, yo, yo, yo. And someone's still just constantly getting punched until someone physically pulls them off. That's what it reminded me of, man. So, I mean, shout out to Kerry Hadley if you did have the over 1.5, because I did too. But dude, yeah, that was absolutely brutal to watch.
Yeah, man, just rough. Phoenix Priest, we are all gathered here today to honor the life of Bobby King Green. That's kind of what it feels like. Bobby could have been playing possum.
He was doing his best Iwan Kuzalaba impression.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! It just got me wondering how the Hangman would have gone if he hadn't pulled out. Yeah, dude. Who knows? Who knows, dude? Because even with one arm, you never know, dude. This game is nuts. But I don't know, dude. I guess I'm glad.
Wait, real quick, did you see the comments from Jalen Turner, which is kind of why I ended up throwing it back to the old Dan Hooker shirt? Did you hear the comments that he made? Like, I think it was after the fight or going into the fight, when he was talking about his fight with Dan Hooker, and he was like, "Yeah, I hate that I put like life-altering damage on the dude." It's like, one, because Dan Hooker fired back at him and was like, "Dude, you missed weight. So one, you missed weight. Two, you lost the fight. 3, you almost got finished in the second round despite doing all that. So, yes, you might have put in some type of damage on him, but you still lost the fight."
Did you read the headlines or did you listen to the whole thing?
I listened to the bit. That's all. I
All
just
right.
heard the clip. That's it.
So the whole interview was the
I didn't
one
hear
that
the
I actually
context of the
sent.
question or anything.
Like, yeah. So the whole interview was the one that I sent you like early last week. Like when he was like, "Well, I didn't want to take the Bobby Green fight, but or I was like, it's kind of like forced." What he said was, he said that the Matus Gamrot fight that he wants back is still to this day that he thinks that he beat Gamrot. But like the Dan Hooker fight was like, I'll give him that. Like he won that fight. But he was like, the only thing is like I saw him in the hospital and I was like, damn, like I'm okay, but he has a broken arm and his face broken, and it's like, he still won the fight, but actually kind of felt bad for doing what could be life-altering damage to him. And then that's probably like all you heard, right? Like, what was it? One part.
Yeah, pretty much that. But yeah, I mean, but I can also understand Dan Hooker being a little fired up to be like, dude, you missed weight and you lost a fight. Like, I mean, I'm okay over here. Like Dan Hooker is still going to be able to fight in the future. I think he may have rushed that last one back and how he caused the injury, but yeah, I was just curious as those comments that the Jalen Turner made, as if he was trying to take a moral victory or if he really felt bad.
Yeah, I would say more of probably was like, damn, like that's I don't know, probably like actually felt like fucking bad for like, dude. Imagine like you're in a sport, dude, and you've like broken a dude's arm and their face in the same night. Like it's like, damn, I'm sorry, man. It's just the game, but dude, face breaks are kind of wild, dude. Look at what's like fucking Sage Northcutt, dude. That'd be wild.
Yeah, Sage got his face broke into like a gajillion pieces. I think that's a little bit of a difference versus Dan Hooker did have a broken orbital, but at the end of the day, it is kind of their job to go out there and hurt each other as well, and they know what they're signing up for. And I feel like if I consider myself a nice guy, so me being a nice guy. I mean, I played football, but I don't know if I could actually go out there and just continuously punch and kick somebody unless I'm just like that pissed off at them. To where they can kind of differentiate it between the sport and making it personal and stuff like that. So I mean, I know that's a little bit of the difference, but they know what they're signing up for when they get into this stuff.
Yeah, of course. But no, that was one of the two different fights that we had, because one fell off and they pushed it to this weekend. Then Melquizael Costa versus Steve Garcia. That'll be this upcoming weekend now. But so we only had two different fights this past weekend. That was one of them, and the other one was it was on the prelims, and it was Jared Gooden versus Wellington Turman. Probably one of the only fights that I felt good about, that I had it in like all my parlays. So all my parlays, started off strong. Was Jared Gooden by I think I had him just straight up because he was like plus 200 or something like that. And even though last week sounded terrible, I do apologize once again. I did say that, I feel like Wellington Turman, training with Alex now, being down to like 170, he thinks he's maybe better on the feet than what he is. And I don't think he can stand with Jared Gooden and take the power. And sure enough, dude, Jared Gooden, throughout the second round, ended up mollywopping him and taking him down, dropping him, and ended up rear naked choking him, dude. So it kind of ruined all my Jared Gooden by knockout parlays that I had, or the one straight up that I had, the Jared Gooden round 2 or 3 knockout. It was like plus like 700, something like that. I was like, yes. Like I think I had like $10 on it, so I would won like 10 to like 70. It would have been great, but instead he choked him out, and I'm just punching that air, dude, because I'm upset. I'm like, but yeah, dude, Jared Gooden was our other different pick versus Wellington Turman, dude. Yeah, I think Wellington Turman just has not the worst chin in the world, dude, but if you got someone that has power, dude, that can absolutely crack, he's got to get them down, or it's just the end of the show. But yeah, so that makes me and still pick champ this week. As I said, riding out to the end of the year. I only got to get it like two more weeks, and that's off to the races until next year, dude.
Yeah, you keep getting. So this week you got the sweep, but there's a couple of times where you end up keeping the belt, and one of our fights end up falling off, so it ends up being a kind of a 1-on-1, and then the tie goes back to the runner. So
hey man, don't act like
hopefully these fights can stay together this week.
Yeah, don't act like that didn't happen to you though. Like oh my
You've been
God,
catching more of the breaks over here lately, though.
Yeah,
because more of the breaks here
like,
lately.
I told the people before the year started, it's football season. I feel good. D-Rose ain't really caring about the fights that much. I'm gonna ride off with the belt the rest of the year. And dude, it's kind of looking like it. Yeah, but I guess real quick, one that kind of bummed me out, dude. Figgy dropped Rob Font a few times, dude. It's like Rob Font is the hardest fighter for me to pick his fights, dude. I'll pick him to lose and he'll win. I'll pick him to win and he'll lose, dude. Figgy looked fantastic up at 135, dude. I thought he was going to be way too small, but then once again, it's Rob Font. So what do I really know, dude? Thoughts on Figgy at 135 against Rob Font?
Well, I thought the biggest thing for Figgy was that size-wise, dude, he was not that much smaller than Rob Font when I was thinking that there was going to be a pretty significant size advantage, for Rob Font. And it kind of reminded me of it almost had a blend of the Rob Font Cheeto and the Rob Font Corey Sandhagen fight, where I felt like Davis and Figueiredo took a little bit of both of their game plans, was really patient, was kind of, staying on the outside. We know that Figueiredo doesn't have the best combos, but holy smokes did that dude throw power. And his power carries up a division too, because, there were just some punches where he was hitting Rob Font with, and you could tell, like, Rob Font wanted to stand in there and, throw his combos, and Rob Font throws some crisp combos. So, yeah, don't get it twisted. He can box with the best of them, But yeah, when Figueiredo was landing some of the big overhand rights, you could just see the effect and damage that it was taking on Rob Font. And then for Figgy to kind of use his takedowns, even though he wasn't able to hold Rob Font down the whole time, I just thought he showed a lot of nice wrinkles in his game. And I thought he kind of showed for himself to be, although I don't know if he's going to be a long-term threat for the division, Figueiredo is, but he definitely shown some capability to compete up to the top level of those guys. And I know he called for the Dominic Cruz fight next. I would definitely like that fight. I don't know if Cruz is really in position to where he wants to take a fight with Figueiredo. I don't know if that's the smartest fight for him, but in terms of what Figueiredo is calling out for, I can see why he would want to call for a fight like that. And, at this point, two-time champ at flyweight, moving up, I think, he's got a big name for himself, and that could be a big fight.
He's just glad he's not like he don't have to fight Brandon Moreno again, dude. He's like, I'll fight anyone besides Brandon Moreno.
Well, dude, you fight somebody 4 times in a row. I gotta imagine you're at some point burned out, dude. 3's enough, but 4, that's insane.
Terrible, man. Terrible, dude. Dude, you know what's the worst part about being back, dude? I came back and my lips instantly, dude, got chapped, dude. It's like I got off the plane and my lips just froze up, dude. I was like, oh, what's happening, dude? What's happening? But
good old Virginia weather, baby. Welcome back.
Crazy, dude. Yeah, man. Sean Brady, Kelvin Gastelum, dude. What did I say last week? Didn't I say Sean Brady probably was gonna sub him round 3? And you're like, I don't know if he finishes him, but that dude.
I thought he would win.
Yeah, man, but Sean Brady, dude, just good at 170, dude. After hearing all the stuff after the last fight, dude, and hearing about, all the stuff that the crazy fans do and all the threats that they get, dude, maybe something, maybe Sean Brady wasn't in the best headspace last time when he fought Bilal. Not taking anything away from Bilal, but it just seems kind of, I don't know. That's not the same performance. It's like when Bilal never finished anyone in life, and then, not even a midnight snack, and then he just goes out there and like knocks out Sean Brady. Even you picking like Bilal, you have to be like, I wasn't expecting that.
No, I didn't. So about the Gastelum and Brady fight first, I did think that Brady would win. I thought that Gastelum would be able to, because it was, now he got submitted by Hermanson, he got submitted by Weidman. But those are guys who are really specialized on the ground. But other than that, you didn't really see Kelvin kind of get dominated like that on the ground that much. He does have good wrestling. He has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So you kind of credit him for kind of having that wrestling defense and good jiu-jitsu, but at a lot of times you never really got to see it on display, where I thought Sean Brady was really going to be able to test all angles of Kelvin Gastelum's grappling. And yeah, I'm not going to say he exposed some holes in Kelvin Gastelum, but I thought Sean Brady really sort of just lived up to his strengths. I know he ended up dropping Kelvin in that first round as well, so kind of showing his hands are a little bit more developed. I think more of the Sean Brady and Bilal Muhammad fight, as you stated, I did pick Bilal going into that fight, and I was super confident in that fight. And we do have the fight companion of that fight, so you can actually go back and see our reactions last year to when that fight happened. I really thought Sean Brady did too much too early with trying to get the takedowns, because I think he really thought that he was going to be able to take Bilal Muhammad down and control him. And if there's one thing I will give Bilal Muhammad credit for, he's got really good cardio, and he's got really good wrestling, and he's got really good balance. So it's going to be hard to take him down. And once he kept going for those takedowns early on against Bilal Muhammad, I really thought Bilal Muhammad, once he got him tired out, just kept the pace. And as he said, when he had in his corner, he had Habib in his corner then too. So that was a different type of motivation for Bilal. So I think you could say he maybe caught them too at different points in their career. I heard Sean Brady make the comment after the fight, after the Gastelum fight this past weekend, saying, 9 times out of 10 he beats Bilal. Bilal just got him that one time. So I don't want to keep rehashing that, but I do think Sean Brady, as far as him being a viable contender at 170, he definitely showed in that Gastelum fight why he's going to be a problem to deal with, because his grappling, his wrestling. His back is literally like a turtle shell. Like, that's how big he looks, like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle with his back, dude. Like, he's so freaking big. And yeah, I really think Sean Brady, he's going to be a matchup nightmare for a lot of dudes at 170.
Yeah, man. All right. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Clay Guida still doing the damn thing, dude. He looked pretty decent, dude. All 30 rounds, dude. It's absolutely nuts.
Well, and he was landing some big shots against Joaquim Silva, and Joaquim Silva was landing some big shots back, and didn't really phase Clay Guida too much. So yeah, it was an awesome fight. Maybe I don't want to say Clay Guida retire. It's just I don't know. I guess when I see Jim Miller have the steam that he does, and then I see Clay Guida, I guess it's just a little bit different. I guess where Jim Miller's knocking fools out, it's just it's a little bit different watching him compared to everybody else that's 41 that's in the lower weight classes. But definitely hats off to Clay Guida for a good showing for himself.
Hey man, like, you get it from that old Blue Ridge Mountain water, dude. If you drink it once, you got it.
Drink it once and get hair implants, dude. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, man. One that really upsets me, dude. Dustin Stolfoots submits Punahele Soriano. I don't really think anyone thought that was happening, dude. And if I had any bets going at this point, that ruined them. Ruined them, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that pretty much ruined the rest of mine too. I told you that I'd only did about 2 or 3 parlays that night, and after the Puna one got busted, I was like, "Yep, I'm not messing with these fights anymore, because I can see where this is going." And for the most part, for the rest of the night, I was pretty much wrong. So I'm glad I refrained from betting any money. But yeah, that was tough to see Puna, because at first he was really having some success, but really seemed like after Dustin Stolfus dropped him, at the end of the first round, it just seemed like Stolfus really took over and never really let Puna up after that.
Yeah, man. Kind of wild to see after all the shit talk about Stolfoots, and then I guess he's shown improvements. Or Sean Strickland's just a fucking madman, that if you're yelling in someone's face, maybe you can, break their confidence just a little bit. But dude, I guess kind of one of the main points that I want to talk about on this card real quick, aside from the Kerry Hadley thing, dude, is we don't see a slam knockout ever, dude. Once a year if we're super lucky, but aside from that, maybe like once every 2 years, once every 5 years, dude. It's only happened like 13 times total, dude, like throughout the span of the UFC. And throughout UFC Austin, it happened twice. And not only twice, it happened twice in a row, dude. 2 slam knockouts in a row. Cody Brundage slam knocks out Zach Reese, and Jakar Close slam knocks out Joe Selecki. Both fights happened right in a row. A minute and 49 seconds for Cody Brundage, and a minute and 41 seconds for Jakar Close, man. What are the odds, dude?
Well, and the craziest part was that it was almost like Cody Brundage watched Jakar Close when Jakar Close was about to get into that arm bar, and then they had slammed him, and then he was like, "You know what? Fuck it, let me just try it and see." And it ended up working for Brundage as well. So I'm going to wonder, guys that have good jiu-jitsu, they're going to lock in those arm bars. When someone lifts you up in the air, are you still going to stay content with that arm bar, or are you going to be willing to release that arm bar so you can try to catch yourself? And I think that's a little bit of the catch that Zach Reese and Joe Selecki ended up catching themselves into was that, hey, do I stick with the arm bar or do I try to save myself? And ultimately they both paid the biggest price for it. But hella knockouts from both Jakar Close and Cody Brundage, the guy who I'm sure everybody bet Zach Reese by knockout, and Cody Brundage ended up because believe me, I told you not to bet on it, and I still bet Zach Reese by KO. And yeah, Cody Brundage burned me again. That fucker burned me again. I can't do it. I don't know. He just had the thing for me, dude. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, dude, you're not the only one, because I was like, there's no way this fight goes the distance. Cody Brundage wins this fight. But sure enough, dude, I only had one parlay left after this. And it was the fight to go under a round and a half that I was like, okay, cool. Because I think the Zach Reese under 1.5 and the under 1.5 was like the same price. So I was like, well, I'll just take the under 1.5 in case anything crazy happens. The 2 fights in a row, Cody Brundage wins in the first round. Absolutely nuts. Nate Brown saying it was an awesome card. You should never let someone pick you up. Saying D-Rose got me again. Under 1.5 was free money and people got greedy with a Reese bet. Yeah, I think so. I just don't think people, dude, Cody Brundage is another one that's just, dude, he's gonna burn you either way. He's gonna burn you, dude.
Dude, I told you. I said it, and I still did it. That's the worst part. I said, do not bet this fight because he will burn you. No matter which way you bet it, he'll burn you. And yeah, still burn me. I don't even listen to my own advice.
You're not the only one, dude. Yeah, but I think a lot of people were kind of talking about it before when Lush dropped his thing in here. We were kind of talking about it last week, so I figure we can start off like this with our UFC news and fight announcements. We were talking about this last week, what we thought for the UFC 300s. Lush is saying my thoughts on the super fight not involving Conor should be Gaethje versus Masvidal. That'd be pretty dope for the I guess for the BMF there. Khamzat versus Bo, Khamzat versus Yuri, Ronda versus Tate, Nick Diaz versus GSP. Yeah, those last two, Ronda versus Tate and Nick Diaz versus GSP. I did see a headline of like, I don't know if like it's true or not, but that they all have gotten offers to fight each other. I don't know if it's true or not, or if it's going to happen, but Ronda versus, I guess, Tate 3 could happen, and Nick Diaz versus GSP, dude. Yeah, those would all be great. And then Austin saying I like Khamzat versus Bo the most. I just don't know if I just feel like it's a little bit early for Bo Nickel, dude. I don't know if I like Nick Diaz can fight anyone anymore. Nate Diaz versus Dustin would be fire. They've already set that up once, so I know Nate Diaz claims a win over Poirier. Nick can fight. Don't go off his last fight. UFC fucked around and rushed him out with no camp. That's kind of true. Yeah, I think his neck was still messed up. Never seen someone look like they didn't want to fight like that. Yeah, and then we're back to where we're at. Yeah, man. So I guess thoughts on what could possibly be. George is still under contract, I think. Yeah, I just don't know if I thought he retired, dude, but you throw enough money anyone's way, they'll come back. But D-Rose, yeah. I guess thoughts on the possible UFC 300 fights real quick while I get the news pulled up. I thought I had it pulled up earlier, but I think I closed it.
Well, and to piggyback off of Nate Brown's comment with Masvidal still being under contract, to my understanding, obviously I'm not in the insides that know the UFC contracts, but depending on either the number of fights you have or, there's a time period typically on those types of contracts, especially when you retire. But your contract typically does freeze for a certain amount of time. So Masvidal, if he was to come back, he would basically have to negotiate with the UFC because where his contract's on freeze where he's retired. But I think as far as like, I don't see GSP coming back. I think it's just more like a competitive thing for him. I just don't really. Money's never really been a big motivator for GSP. More of just glory and just legacy, and that's all he's really kind of written off of. So I don't really see. I don't really see GSP coming back. Hamza versus Bo potentially. But I'm with you. I think it's a little bit too early for Bo. If I had to guess, I'm still going to kind of ride with it. I'm thinking it's going to be something involving with the Bellator fighters, the ones that didn't jump over to the PFL. I think he'll be able to try to make some big fights with a lot of those guys.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. I think that's going to be their big merger night, that they get like all their Bellator people fighting on the same night there that are new to the UFC, that are actually viable contenders or anything like that. But yeah, man, let's get into our other UFC news and fight announcements. So let me share my screen here. Yeah, man. Here we go. Up first, dude, we got Lupi Godinez taking on none other than Kakarai Verna Jandiroba. That's going to be March 30th. Strawweight. Thoughts on that?
Oh, that's a good fight. And we've been seeing Lupi surging through her last couple fights, and I know Verna, wasn't she supposed to have the fight with Tatiana Suarez, and that fight ended up falling off. So not as tough of a fight, in terms of the grappling, but Lupi's shown in her last couple of fights, her boxing not the cleanest, but she's definitely got power in her hands. She dropped Rishi at a certain point in that fight against Tabitha Rishi as well. So yeah, that should be a good fight.
Yeah, man. I'm a fan of Lupi, and how can you not be a fan of Verna Jandiroba? Just one of the most menacing fighters in the UFC, dude. We'll move along there though. Landon Keenan, who cares about that one? Here we go. We got Gilbert Urbina taking on Charles Radke, February 3rd. Do you care about that?
That should be a solid fight. Is that gonna be at a welterweight?
That is at welterweight.
Urbina?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because I know Urbina, he fought on the Ultimate Fighter at 85, right? So
yes.
Yeah, a couple of those guys from that class ended up moving down a little bit, but yeah, Urbina looked good in his last fight, so that should be a good one.
All right, up next, dude. I feel like they've already scheduled this fight and it's fell out a few times. We got Rodolfo Vieira taking on Armin Petrosian, February 10th, UFC Vegas 86. Thoughts on that?
I feel like there's a lot of the same, like Armin Petrosian, Andre Petrosky. Like I feel like I mix a lot of those names up with one another. So maybe Rodolfo could have been matched up with one of those guys, but yeah, I knew you're a fan of Rodolfo, but man, Armin, I think that's a bad fight for Rodolfo, man. Because if he's not able to get it to the ground, which it's gonna be really hard to do against Petrosian, it's gonna be a long night for him, man.
Yeah, man. I agree. One that I am a fan of, baby. Let's go. We got Anthony Fluffy Hernandez taking on Ikram Aliskerov, UFC 298. What's your thoughts on this? February 17th, man.
Now this one should be a good fight. I think this is more the right escalation for Ikram Aliskerov, because I know they were trying to get a match up with Costa and get a match up with Nasruddin Imavov, and I mean, Nasruddin's not as well established as Costa is at some point, but I do think at the same time, Fluffy going to be a super tough matchup for him. Tough fight. Fluffy's got good cardio, good wrestling. I think he kind of combats a lot of what Ikram does. So I do think this fight could eventually end up coming down to the striking, and I'd be interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah, man. I can't wait for lines on that, dude. I would not mind taking another big Fluffy shot, dude. Because when he fought Rodolfo, dude, I was like, "Don't count Fluffy out, dude." And he was like plus 850 or something like that, dude. And I put $5 on it, and I wasn't upset at it. Eric Anders, dude, what are we doing? Why is this happening?
Your boy versus your boy.
Your boy versus your boy. Don't try to say Jamie Pickett's my boy, dude. God, dude. after the Josh
your boy
Frim fight,
your boy.
dude, how many fights do you have to lose, man? Like, we'll talk about it for this weekend because if we don't see another appearance by Shannon Ross this weekend, dude, like, Jesus Christ, what are we doing? Here we go. Eric Anders versus none other than Jamie Pickett. UFC Saudi Arabia, March 2nd. You care about that at all, D-Rose?
I like Eric Anders, man. So let's see Eric Anders go out there and get a decision win as Jamie Pickett tries to hide his face.
Yeah, man. Sounds good. I like it. We got Miranda Fear the Maverick with the little white chicks gift there. Andrea KGB Lee taking on Miranda Fear the Maverick, UFC 298. I think that's going to be the one. No, that's the. Is that the Taporia call? Yeah, so that's in Anaheim, dude. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's a good fight. I like watching KGB fight because she usually wins or lose. Her fights are normally pretty fun, and Miranda Maverick, she's kind of trying to get back in the winner's circle. So I know she won her last fight, but yeah, looking to get another win, and I think Miranda should be the favorite going into this one too.
Hopefully, dude. Or hopefully she's a dog and I can bet on her, dude. We got one that's pretty interesting here, dude. We got Jeremiah Wells taking on Max Payne Griffin, February 10th. What's your thoughts on that?
Man, that's an interesting fight. I know Jeremiah Wells, who did he lose to in his last fight? I don't know why
it was Carlton Harris, dude, at UFC Nashville. I got him confused with Jared Gooden last week, dude. I don't know why they confused me. Jeremiah Wells and Jared Gooden, like, I kind of think maybe they like kind of fight the same, dude. I don't know why I get them confused so easily, dude.
Well, they're both very bricked up, but I would say Jeremiah Wells looks like he's at least about 3 feet shorter.
About 3 feet shorter.
Yeah, he's at least about 3 feet shorter than Jared Gooden, but dude, he is an absolute tank. And Max Griffin, we know Max Payne. Hey, that dude's got a gas tank for days. So I think the clash of styles is going to make that fight so interesting.
Yeah, man. I will have to agree. Max is going to be way quicker, like more in and out movement, side to side movement, as where Jeremiah Wells just comes in with raw heat and just throws with almighty. And if you crack him, he will still grab you and take you down. So will be an interesting fight. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, stronger than Ox too.
Yeah, dude. Brandon, the Assassin Baby Moreno is going to be taking on Amir Albazi, Mexico City, February 24th. The flyweight co-main event. Also, he's going to be the backup. Is it next pay-per-view, dude? For Pantoja versus Roy Val, dude. So he will be the backup there too. So I guess what's your thoughts on both those?
So this is a good fight. I like the fight, and I know Albazi are trying to call for a title fight after that Kai France fight. I think. After that fight, it still left a lot of, sour taste in a lot of people's mouths because, again, myself, I had Kai France by decision in that fight, and I thought he easily won 4 rounds of 1. So I think, for Albazi, I think this is kind of more of a, a prove it to me type of fight. If you want the title fight, you go beat one of those guys who was a former champ and still in his prime right now. So it's a really good fight, man. And Brandon Moreno, we saw how good he looked in that Pantoja fight, even with the broken hand. So yeah, we know how tough he is, and that should be a really good fight.
Hell yeah, man! I'm excited for it. I guess that's all the results from this past weekend. Veronica Hardy, dude, I picked her on the podcast after the weigh-ins. I was like, dude, I think the physicality of fucking Jamie Lynn Horth might be a little bit too much, but dude, Veronica Hardy looks good, dude. Tell me if this is a good matchup. Mick Maynard, Sean Shelby, listen to me right now. Make this matchup. Give me Natalia Silva versus Veronica Hardy. Book it. Let me have it. I want to see who's better in that fight, dude. We've got, Jared Gooden, rear naked, choking Wellington Thurman. Dude, Adolfo Bellato machine gunned Ihor Bateria, dude. But, dude, Ihor didn't look terrible in that fight. Please tell me you at least.
Ihor cracked him.
Yeah, dude, that was a pretty good fight. Like, you watched it?
I saw the highlights from the fight, but I did see where Pateria had dropped Bellato early, and it was a brutal combo that he ended up hitting him with, and almost got Bellato out of there early, and then I saw where Bellato was able to kind of rally late with a ground and pound. So
dude,
yeah,
it all happened in the same round. That's the crazy part.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, 1 of 2 slam knockouts in a row. Drakkar Klose and Cody Brundage. Miesha Tate, dude, this one broke my heart, dude. Raging Panda had no wrestling defense, dude. She could not crack Miesha Tate at all. Didn't even give her a chance. You didn't miss anything that one if you didn't watch it. Yeah, Dustin Stolfoots, Joaquim Silva. We're just getting to it. Yeah, dude, Jalen Turner, and that will be this weekend now, and this will be this weekend now. Here we go. Nicholas Moda taking on Tom Nolan. Don't know who that is. January 13th. I'm sure you don't care. That is this weekend. So we will move along. Shylan Norden Becky taking on Emil Hyder Emil February 10th. You care about that one at all? He just now came off Contender Series, the Hyder Emil.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, and then usually Nerd and Becky, he normally puts on a pretty fun fight, win or lose. So he normally goes out there for a scrap. So that should be
that's gonna be this weekend. That's gonna be this weekend.
Oh, okay, shit, yeah, it should be good scrap.
Yeah. So here we go. We got Miloslav Bogasarian, dude. Probably one of the cockiest fighters you could possibly be, dude. He's going to be taking on, I think he's the Jaguar, William Gomi, UFC 85, February 3rd. Care about that
one? So Miloslav Bogasarian is pretty good. He's a good striker. He's one of the best eye pokers in the game as well. I mean, the dude literally will just sit there with his hands like this, almost trying to like snake call you or something like that. So William Gomi definitely needs to be on the lookout for those eye pokes.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see here. Moving along. Dude, this one kind of confused me. I don't know who asked for this one. D-Rose, did you ask for this fight? I didn't ask for this.
2?
I didn't ask for this. Yeah, 2. Molly Meatball McCain taking on Deanna Belbita, number 2. I guess you care about it at all or no?
No, you're right. I don't care. I mean, that's dude,
brutal. This comment right here gets a like from me. I have to like it. Bam, right there. Can you read it? This should be the UFC 300 headliner. Right there. That one gets a lot. That one gets a like from me, dude. Moving along. We got dude. What?
Dude, I didn't realize Alex Perez is still in the UFC.
Dude, exactly. I kind of looked at his face and I'm like, that's not Alex Perez, is it? And I looked at the name and I'm like, yeah. All right, dude. Alex Perez.
I actually saw this earlier.
Makayev, dude. March 2nd, dude. If Muhammad Makayev isn't like minus 300 by round 1 finish, dude, there's value on it. There's value because, dude, I don't think this gets out of the first round. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing you were. I actually saw the fight earlier, and I didn't send it because I figured we'd go over it, but really just had the same thoughts you did. I forgot that Alex Perez was in the UFC because I swear to goodness thought he got cut, and 2 was like, man, whatever that first second round finish would be from Makayev, I think he got to run to the bank for that because Alex Perez, tough fighter, but yeah, in his last few fights in the UFC. I know he's fought some killers, Pantoja and all those guys, but Figueiredo, but man, he did not fare well against those guys at all. And he ended up getting submitted by all those guys too. So I think that only sets up for Makayev to do his thing.
Dude, is the fight even going to happen? Because I know that he pulled out of a lot of fights too. Like fucking missed weight a whole bunch. Like, he's had notorious
weight misses and fight cancellations. Dude, I think him and Matt Schnell went through They were like Tony and Habib level of fight cancellations, dude. I was like, holy shit! Like, can we just stop trying to make this fight at this point?
Yeah, dude, I agree. But round one, Muhammad Makayev, dude, this one announced. I was taking a little nap earlier, and I saw this when I woke up. Giga Chikadze is out, which I saw a few days ago. I saw a few people raising their hands. I personally liked Diego Lopez stepping in for Giga Chikadze, but who gets caught up? None other than Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell. And guess what, D-Rose? It's next week, UFC 296. I guess thoughts on that real quick before we go over it next week. Thug Nasty versus Josh Emmett.
That's an interesting fight just on, just hearing it offhand. I've always been a fan of the character of Bryce Mitchell, but I've always questioned, his limitations as a fighter. I would say early on I would favor Josh Emmett, but again, every time I've ever doubted Bryce Mitchell is when he's came to prove me wrong. So I do think it's a very competitive fight. It's much more competitive than what I think some people will make it out to be, and it should be a good fight.
Dude, I'm gonna make a strong prediction right here. I think Bryce Mitchell submits Josh Emmett probably early, man. It wouldn't surprise me because, dude, it's like Josh Emmett at this point I feel like he's just maybe a little bit past his prime, dude. And Yair made it look fucking easy, dude. I was like, yeah, what is this? And I think Yair and Bryce might be around the same size, dude. And just Yair just looked so much bigger than Josh Emmett, dude. And dude,
let me know when Bryce Mitchell throws any type of kicks like Yair Rodriguez does. Let me know when Bryce Mitchell goes out there and fucking capoeira kicks Josh Emmett upside the head.
I'm saying as far as size and how it happened, I think Bryce Mitchell can for sure get Josh Emmett down. And as easy as Yair locked up a sub, dude, I think Thug Nasty might be submitting Josh Emmett next weekend. But hey, we'll get into it. We got the Caitlin Chukagian, or I guess what's her name? Chamarina now. She's gonna be taking on the future, the Marinara. Here we go. She's gonna be taking on the future Macy Barber, dude. Both your girls, both ones that I love to pick against, dude. How are you gonna pick on this fight on March 9th, dude?
Yeah, it's gonna be like picking between my kids, man. I mean, it's definitely gonna be a tough one. I mean, early on, I'm definitely favoring Macy just due to her aggression. But again, Caitlin Chukagian, Caitlin Marinara, she tends to use her footwork and keep it on the outside and use that nice 1-2, and she's got good takedown defense too. So she's going to present every bit of problems to Macy. But I am favoring Macy early on.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. That is the last one. So I need to catch up on the chat, marinara and ketchup. Here we go. Let's see. All right, here we go. Finally, we need to see Eric win. All right, so that's the Eric.
Your boy.
Eric Anders versus your boy. That's your favorite fighter, Matt.
I tell you, man, you trying to deny it.
I don't know. It's a close fight. Max can stuff a TD early, but both still slow takedowns. Okay. Lush going for Moreno in that. Last time, I believe I bet Bellato as a favorite. Yeah. Dude, it was close, dude. He at least got it done. Yeah, he at least got it done. But it was close. Tom Nolan from DWCS. Okay, fair enough. I guess I just have to go back and watch it. Sometimes, I caught the majority of them, but sometimes I was just out. So here comes the twos. Two. Dude, no way. Okay, so that's the Alex Perez and the Muhammad Makayev. Yeah, that's my actual thoughts. I doubt that fight happens, but hey, possibly. But any other news? I know Aljo and Max Holloway, I think, maybe going back and forth now. I think Aljo thinks that he has a Max Holloway fight now. I guess what's your thoughts about that as I get the fights pulled up for this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, that could potentially be a good fight. I heard Ray Longo I heard Ray Longo say that he feels like Aljo's going to move up, but he hasn't confirmed anything just yet. So everything's still up in the air as of right now. But I mean, I could see why Aljo would want that fight. Nobody wants to fight Max right now, and I think at this point, Max is picking off all the contenders. Let's just take a fresh contender and put him up against Max, and that won't necessarily mess up the trajectory of the weight class.
You know what? I actually like what you're saying there. And I think that's a pretty interesting fight. I got to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely favoring. Yeah, and I'm definitely favoring Max going into it just because Aljo, he's going to be super strong, but it's going to be really hard to take down Max Holloway consistently, especially with Max's footwork. But I do respect Aljo for, hey, he's going up and calling out the toughest dude outside of the champ. So respect Aljo calling for it.
And he ain't taking on a regular 145, or he's like taking on it's like you just got knocked out by Sean O'Malley. Like Max don't have a ton of knockouts, dude, but up at 145, probably bigger than Sean O'Malley, dude. So it's like, dude, it's like you take on one of the biggest guys too. I get it, like the name and all, dude, but yeah, I just probably don't think it's the best matchup for Aljo. But hey, won't be the last time I've been wrong, and won't be the first time either. But yeah, that being said, let's get into the fights for this weekend. D Rose, UFC Vegas 83, Song Yadong versus Chris Gutierrez, El Guapo, if you will. Our breakdown, our predictions, our picks, and if we have any bets, we'll tell you about those, or if we're going to make any, we'll try to inform you of those. Not the best card this weekend, D Rose. Sugar even said he would fight Volk or Max. Yeah, makes sense. Wouldn't fight Volk or Max. Fair enough. All right, so I guess I got to share the screen. I'm an idiot. Share the screen. D Rose, have you looked at the card at all this weekend?
I looked at bits and pieces of it earlier. That's actually, I was kind of going through and skimming through some of it now, and I know you're saying, look, I'll give it credit for being because the pay-per-view is it next weekend? Next weekend, right? So I mean, for it to be an in-between card for a pay-per-view, it's still a solid card. It's just that, because this is in the Apex again, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only thing you hate about these types of fights is that I know you were saying that it was supposed to be over in the Asian market, and I guess the venue that they had ended up canceling, or there was something that fell through with the venue booking and how they made it back to the Apex. But yeah, I'm just getting real tired of seeing the Apex at this point.
Yeah, it is what it is. UFC 296 has the best main event lineup in years. What we got next week to wait on it. Dogs are barking again this week, boys. There's going to be a few. What am I saying? This card going to have a few upsets. I guarantee it. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I was kind of looking at it too, and I like a few of them. Anyone else going to the UFC in Vegas? Well, I mean, UFC's in Vegas a lot of times, my guy. If you go, good luck, man. The Apex is probably one of the most expensive seats you can get, and I don't know if the fights are just worth it, But with that being said,
which is the craziest part, that you're going to the Apex for not as good fights.
$2,000 for one ticket. $2,000. One ticket, $2,000.
That's crazy, dude. Unbelievable.
Absolutely nuts, dude. Makes no sense. So, D Rose, as I said, to start off the show, this was going to be over there in the Asian market. It got canceled. So now it's going to be over here. And D Rose, the start time this weekend is at 7 p.m. for the prelims. We had 10 fights. Some fell off. They added some. And then we had 13 fights, and it looks like some more fights may have fell back off now. So we are back down to 11 fights now. So with that being said, we've got UFC Vegas 83, Song Yadong versus Chris Gutierrez, El Guapo, at the UFC Apex. Starts Saturday, 7 p.m. We got 11 fights, as I said. Headlined by Song Yadong taking on El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez. Co-main event is going to be Anthony Lionheart Smith taking on Khalil Roundtree. Yeah, good luck if you're betting that fight. We got Sumu Darji taking on Tim Elliott on super short notice this week, actually. Tim Elliott stepping in. Awkward Tim Elliott, if you will. We've got Nazareth Hackparas taking on Jamie Malarkey. So I guess before I make my pick, I got to see who's the dog or the favorite in that, because you don't pick Jamie Malarkey as the favorite. We've got Andre Muniz taking on none other than the Iron Turtle, Jung Young Park, dude. One of my favorite fighters to watch. And I used to like Andre Muniz a lot, but after that Uriah Hall fight, I don't know. We got Song Kenan taking on Kevin Jusset, CKB Frenchman, if you will. We got Young Park taking on Shannon Ross. This is where I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Shannon Ross just keeps getting knocked out, and he has another fight in the UFC against UFC newcomer, or he may have fought once on the road to UFC. I believe that's where he fought at. Fight from last week, we've got Steve Garcia taking on Melquizael Costa. Dude, this feels like way more than 11 fights. We've got Stephanie Egger taking on Luana Santos. Live, laugh, love, if you will. She burned us last time. We were making fun of her. We've got Tatsuru Taira taking on Carlos Hernandez, Rayanne Dos Santos, and Talita Alencar, dude. So, yeah, dude, we're going to start right there. There have been a lot of cancellations. Alan Nascimento versus Suman Darji. There might be a few catchweight fights on here. Yeah, there will be. Wait, I think just a weight class.
Daniel Marquez and Carlos Vera, right?
Yeah, dude.
That's catchweight. And is there another one on there?
That might be off here. Daniel Marcos might be off here now.
Oh yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
I'm reading off of ESPN, so yeah, that could be one of the fights that fell off as well.
Yeah, Daniel Marcos versus Carlos Vera. That one's off. Vera. Marcos visa issues.
Hey, damn.
Yeah, man. So we had 11.
This card did lose a lot of fights.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I guess as a whole, it's an Apex card, but we got a lot of people on here that I'm like, what are we doing? Like the Shannon. I'm done seeing Shannon Ross. I'm done seeing Jamie Pickett. Yet they force him. They force them in my face because, I'm going to watch the UFC fights. So it is what it is. But here we go, D-Rose.
But it's kind of fun watching Shannon Ross get blasted halfway through the octagon too, though.
Yeah, within 10 seconds, dude. From someone with the shortest reach in the division and never had a knockout. Get some snooze at Shannon Ross first punch, 10 seconds, dude. Like, cool. And yet he's back here again, dude. Anyway, here we go. First fight of the night. We've got Rayanne Dos Santos taking on Talita Alencar, dude. Rayanne Dos Santos is 14-6, won 4 of her last 5, while Talita Alencar is 4-0-1, so 4-0, if you will. Her last fight was a draw on the Contender Series. So we have both newcomers to the UFC. Neither one of them have fought here before. And one girl got signed off the Contender Series for a draw, dude. Let me pull up the correct odds for this because I feel like those have changed since then. But until then, let me give you the stats. Rayanne Dos Santos, 28 years old, 5'2", and a 62-inch reach, while Talita Alencar is 33 years old, 5'1", and a 58-inch reach. Currently, the odds for this are Rayanne Dos Santos is a -178 favorite, and Talita Alencar is a +138 dog. I actually looked into this a little bit, D-Rose. And Rayanne Dos Santos is really good on the ground, and Talita Alencar comes from a jiu-jitsu background. So she's not, she is 4-0, but she has a long jiu-jitsu background, which is why she's 33 years old and only 4-0 now. But I think, the better overall MMA fighter is the one with the clearly better record, even though she's 14-6. I think she's probably going to get her first win this weekend. Give me Rayanne Dos Santos as the favorite to defeat the fellow UFC newcomer, Talita Alencar. What's your thoughts here, D-Rose? If any, dude, just make your pick and we'll move along.
Yeah, I really don't have much here. I'm gonna ride with Rayanne Dos Santos. Let's just say experience. That's all I'm riding off of here.
All right, me and D-Rose both.
I ain't got much analysis.
Me and D-Rose both on the favorite Ray dos Santos this weekend. Up next, we have Tatsuro Taira taking on Carlos Hernandez. Tatsuro Taira 14-0, Carlos Hernandez 9-2. Obviously, Tatsuro has won all 5 of his last 5. He is currently a minus 590 favorite. Carlos Hernandez 9-2 overall, won 4 of his last 5, and currently a plus 390 dog. Tatsuro Taira, 23 years old, 5'7", and a 70-inch reach, while Carlos Hernandez is 30 years old, 5'8", and a 67-inch reach. D-Rose, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we have the same analysis here. If it's anything other than me, feel free to jump in. But Carlos Hernandez, I believe his 2 losses are via rear naked choke. And that's exactly what Tatsuro does. Dude, he just gives up his back a whole lot. He's a pretty good fighter, but once you get on the ground, he don't look the best. And Tatsuro Taira, that's his steez, if you will. Yeah, I got Tatsuro Taira probably submitting Carlos Hernandez. What's your thoughts here, dears?
Yeah, I think you pretty much said it all. I think Tatsuro Taira, he's got really good submission skills, really good wrestling, and as you said, I know Carlos Hernandez lost to Alan Nascimento, who as well is a great grappler in himself, but those are the holes that Carlos Hernandez seems to kind of get exposed when he does end up losing. So I see Taira taking advantage of the same. Let's go submission from Tatsuro Taira.
All right, me and D-Rose both on the same wave the first 2 fights. So up next, hell yeah, dude, she's still a dog this week. We've got, and I saw a picture of her earlier, and she has dyed hair. She is no longer blonde. Stephanie Egger taking on Luana. Live, laugh, love, Santos. Dude, Stephanie Egger this week has black hair. She's dyed her hair. Brown or either dark brown or black, dude. She looks a little different. I was like, who is that? And then I saw that's Stephanie Egger. So I was like, okay, coming out with a new look. Going to be fighting Luana Santos 6-1. She burned us last time, D-Rose. Currently, yep. Stephanie Egger 8-4, Luana Santos 6-1. Stephanie Egger is currently plus 132 dog. Luana Santos minus 170 favorite. Stephanie Egger, 35 years old, 5'6" and a 68-inch reach, while Luana Santos, 23 years old, 5'6" and a 67-inch reach. Dude, yeah, Stephanie Egger burned us last time. Luana Santos burned us last time, dude. I did not think Russian Ronda was going to knee bar Stephanie Egger like that, dude. And then she ended up looking like ass in her next fight, too. So, I just think maybe just kind of a little fluke thing that could happen. I really don't see why Stephanie Egger is the dog this week, other than people are just really down on her after the Russian Ronda knee bar last time. I think she should be a favorite, and I'm probably going to be throwing some money on Stephanie Egger this weekend to defeat Live, Laugh, Love Santos. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
I think for me, I'm going to actually roll with the youth here. I am going to go with Luana Santos, and I think Stephanie Egger, I think the big thing for her, not that she necessarily has one path to victory, but I do think for her, if she's to get it to the ground, that's where she's most advantageous. And she might even not have to necessarily get it to the ground, as long as she can just have some type of back take or something like that. Her submission skills are legit, but and I know Luana Santos, I know she fought Juliana Miller in her last fight, who Juliana Miller, we both know, does not have the greatest striking in the world, but I did think that Luana Santos is able to kind of tag her up before being able to finish her off. So I think Santos might be a little bit more well-rounded than Stephanie Egger at this point. Stephanie Egger being 35 years old, more on the back nine of her career. Let's go with the youth and Luana Santos here.
All right, me and D-Rose split here. D-Rose on the favorite, Luana Santos, minus 170. I'm on the dog, Stephanie Egger, plus 132. Dude, she's listed at 5'6". I swear she's taller than everyone she fights. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, she's at least 3 feet taller than what she's listed at on that right there. Yeah, she's at least 3 feet taller.
Yeah, dude. But we're split, dude. I'm on the dog Stephanie Egger, D Rose on Luan Santos. First different pick of the night. So follow up from last week, dude. This was going to be at 145 last week, right? And
Yeah, I believe so.
155 this week. Steve Garcia taking on Mean Machine Steve Garcia. Wow. Taking on Melky Coffee. Makezel Costa. We've got Steve Garcia 14-5. Wow, Mel Costa is 20-6. Steve Garcia won 3 of his last 5, while Mel Costa also won 3 of his last 5. Currently, Steve Garcia is a plus 215 underdog, while Mel Costa is a minus 290 favorite. I should give you stats first. Steve Garcia, 31 years old, 6 foot, 73-inch reach, while Mel Costa, 27 years old, 5 foot 10, 73-inch reach. Last week, this was at 145, and I was convinced Mel Costa was probably going to knock out Steve Garcia just because Steve Garcia gets cracked in every one of his fights, dude. It's just, aside from Chase Hooper, dude, he gets wobbled in every single one of his fights, and that's down at 145. He's got an extra 10 pounds. He's not cutting again. We saw Melk fight. I think he fought Moises at 155, right? Yeah, Thiago Moises at 155. That he lost. So this isn't really the weight class for either one of the fighters. So I think both of them are going to be a little bit more durable. As crazy as it sounds, the odds are farther apart. The odds were closer last week. And I was on Costa, but now that the odds are more in the favor of Costa, dude, I don't like it. I'm still going to pick Mel Costa probably to beat Steve Garcia via decision this week. I don't know if he knocks him out with the extra 10 pounds, not cutting the extra water weight, dude. Still going Makezel Costa to defeat Steve Garcia, but I don't like it as much as I liked it last week. Which way are you going this week, D-Rose?
I'm sticking with my guns on this one. I'm going Steve Garcia again, and I think just a little bit of the wild man factor that he brings. He just kind of has that, that kind of step forward, and he does get hit a lot, but he's willing to get hit, and sometimes that pressure can break people, and he does get hit. But I will also give him credit as well. The dude can crack. Like, wasn't it Shiloh Nerdenbecky that he dropped with the body shot? And the way that Chase Hooper's head looked like a Pez dispenser, the way that Steve Garcia almost knocked Chase Hooper's head off. So he can crack himself. I think if he just keeps that gassing and that pressure on Costa, I think Steven Garcia can get it done. So I'm sticking with my guns with Steven Garcia here.
All right, me and D-Rose split this week again. I guess I'm on the favorite. Hopefully this don't fall into the pick champ because, dude, I really don't feel great about this week. I liked it a lot last week, but we are split here this week. I'm on Mel Costa, D-Rose on Mean Machine.
Which is surprising because I figured a week later, going up in weight, was it disclosed as to why the fight was scrapped last week? If there was a reason, I didn't see why it was last week.
Steve Garcia illness.
Okay. Well, yeah, hell, if anything, that should put you in more favor for
dude. The extra 10 pounds is throwing me off, dude. I don't know why. Up next, dude. Here we go. The Hung Sung Park versus Shannon Ross, dude. I'm not even giving y'all stats. The Hung Sung Park round 1 finish. You can maybe even, if you can find the odds out there, I know DraftKings will offer you under 0.5 of a round. That's usually pretty nice odds, dude. Like Hung Sung Park under 0.5 of a round. Hung Sung Park in the first 2 minutes. Dude, Shannon Ross. What do we even say here? I'm curious. Does anyone in the chat think the Turkish Delight Shannon Ross has a chance this weekend? Because I feel like if everyone is like off of him, is the one time he's just going to come and show up and spoil the party against the 8-0 newcomer, dude. But yeah, I'm not even going to give you stats or anything like that because I know we're both on Park. I'm curious to read the comments here.
Yeah, this is I'm definitely going Hung Sung Park by first round knockout. Yeah, Shannon Ross has almost made it a career earning or career living by getting knocked out in the first round in the UFC. So if you were to play anything on this, you definitely have to go, no less than 1.5. or no more than 1.5. But yeah, this fight should end pretty early, and I see Shannon Ross getting finished here.
All right, fair enough. Anyone else go? Okay, so that's where we're at. I saw he asking if UFC fighters will sign cards and meet and greet. It depends, dude. You usually there are like events set up around, like the UFC fighter will be on Instagram. But the last time that I was there for UFC Noche, actually, why not pull up the little photo right here because he fights this weekend. These all the fighters were in my like the UFC hotel. So I got Cheeto to sign a card, and I got Anthony Smith to sign a card that also fights this weekend. Yeah, that's all I actually got to sign a card, but I didn't actually get anyone to sign a card at a meet and greet because there's usually a line of people there. So if you catch them like outside of the meet and greet, you probably have a better chance at it than actually at the meet and greet, just because there's a line of people there like already waiting, and they're probably like no autographs or just some wild stuff like that. Chad 13 says he wants to see Song Yadong be UFC champion. Like I don't have gold or rookie honest. Okay, fair enough. Like Song Yadong, Ross, Muniz as potential dogs. You like Shannon Ross as a dog, dude? Oh, maybe Nate's more confident than us. He might be back here next week saying I told y'all so, but dude, I do.
I got to see it to believe it with Shannon Ross. It's something under me knees. I'll even roll with you a little bit, but Shannon Ross, yeah, I got to see it to believe it.
Yeah, I got VIP tickets for less than that, 15. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, man. Like I got pretty solid seats last time. I'm by no means. I do not have a lot of money, dude. When like the most I'm paying for like UFC tickets is like $300 per ticket because I have to get two for me and like for me and my girl because we both enjoy the sport and we both go together. So when I'm paying $1,500 a ticket, for the Apex, I just dude, that's like almost my mortgage payment per month, man. I can't do it. But I hope you have fun, man. It'll be an experience if you've never been, but make sure you get to an actual live event, dude. Nothing beats a UFC live event. It's fun, dude. I've seen a ton of people have cards signed. All you can do is ask. Yeah, it is worth a shot, man. Good luck. All right. Let's say, please, no one bet Kevin Juice this weekend. Dude has never even fought in the U.S., let alone a UFC level opponent. Yeah, he fought Kiefer Crosby last week, not last week, the last time he fought, and he wasn't the best. Under 2.5 plus money for the women. Yeah, that's what was the women fight? D-Rose was the first one of the night, which is we both picked on the same one. The extra weight for Steve Garcia might help him make up, but I still been. Extra weight might help him, but it might have still been a hard weight cut to lose the balance. Yeah, so it looks like Nate is on me with Mel Costa this week. Over 1.5 is probably a solid bet, to be honest. I think he has a shot. Shannon Ross, okay. Park is super mid. All right. I don't know if Park is UFC level, but if so, Ross is going to win. It would be now. Yeah, dude. After that last one, dude, where the dude had never, what's this dude's name? Jesus Aguilar never had a knockout, dude, and just shortest reach in the division and just snoozed them, dude. Just snoozed them. So, hey, up next, here we go. Here we go. Song Yadong taking on Kevin Juice, the assassin. Song Yadong, 21-7 overall, won 3 of his last 5. Kevin Juice, trains at CKB, 9-2 overall, won 4 of his last 5. 1 fight in the UFC. Defeat over Kiefer Crosby by rear naked choke. Song Yadong plus, wow, of course, my odds. Currently, odds for this, Song Yadong plus 124. Kevin Juice minus 158. Song Yadong, 33 years old, 6 foot, 71-inch reach, while Kevin Juice, 30 years old, 6 foot 2, and a 75-inch reach. Yeah, dude, I know Kevin Juice is not good. And Nate Brown is right. Do not bet him this weekend. I just feel like the only time Song Yadong has really looked good, I will give him the Rolando Bedoya dude. Spoiled the party for a lot of us. A lot of us bet Rolando Bedoya last in his last fight, and he surprised this dude. But in the Ian Gary fight, I just feel like he looked good for 1 second when he dropped Ian Gary with one left hook, and that I feel like a lot of people look at that moment and they're like, oh, like look, he still got it, but dude, it's like 1 second that he looked all right, and that entire fight. I just anyone can look good for a second. It's how long can you prolong it, dude? And the rest of the fight, he was just getting his ass beat. And dude, not Kiefer Crosby, Kevin Jusay is basically the same body type as Ian Gary, dude. I probably say Kevin Jusay wins this fight via decision. Yeah, not going to be betting it though. Not going to be betting it unless it's just a Hail Mary parlay trying to get lucky. Yeah, do not put your hard-earned money on this fight this weekend. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
Yeah, I think it'd be easy to follow the odds where, you see an odd that's in the minus 100 range. So, it gets kind of like, you get big eyes for something like that. But I am with you as far as Jusay being the unknown commodity here. I know he comes from CKB. He comes from that camp, but don't think just because he comes from that camp that he's going to be an awesome striker, because he is still learning and he's got a little bit more of a grappling base to him, which he can kind of use the striking every now and then. I mean, I'm going to pick Jusay to win. But again, I'm with you with no confidence whatsoever. I'm definitely not putting any money towards the bets, but I do think there's a way that Jusay wins, probably ends up just taking it to the ground and controlling Song Yadong for most of the fight. You'll see a lot of clinches up against the fence and a lot of trips and takedowns, and I think you see a lot of control from Jusay to get the decision.
Okay. Got any thoughts on PFL getting Bellator, any PFL cards or coverage? I will have to politely pass, man. I can't stand the mention of the smart cage. I hate it, to be honest. Like, what's so smart about the cage? Yeah, I don't like that. And Bellator itself just takes so long in between fights, dude. It's like, can you just start the next fight, please? But yeah, it's just little things. I just like how the UFC works, man. It's so it just laid out. It works, there's not so much time in between fights and everything, as where like you watch a Bellator card, dude, you might be sitting there 12 hours, dude. You're like, can we start the next fight, please? And yeah, PFL, I will watch. Like, I'll watch it if UFC isn't on. I'll say that, because I'll watch two worms fight if I can bet on them. So, I'll watch it if UFC isn't on. But as far as coverage, I am not taking the time out of my day to study PFL and Bellator to give you guys my reads. Because personally, if I'm going to come here and give you what I personally think about the fights on the card, I at least want to be knowledgeable at least a little bit. So that would require so much knowledge, and so much of the time already goes into all the UFC, dude. Like, I did not want to look at the prelims on this, the Rey Dos Santos versus Thalita Allen card, trying to research those fighters earlier. I was like, Jesus Christ, what are we doing here? Like, it's not good. So I'm sure there's a lot of other people that do it, man. But if you want some UFC coverage, we'll be right here. But aside from that,
I do think as far as so there is going to be big fights with PFL and Bellator come next year. So I mean, we still got Francis Ngannou and with PFL. I think Jake Paul's supposed to be on the roster coming back next year. So I think if there's big enough fights in PFL, it's not that we're not. It's not that we don't like PFL, or we won't talk about it or anything like that. But I do think that if there's a big enough fight that we're going to talk about it. But if it's just your regular run of the mill, regular PFL fight night, as you said, sometimes these UFC fight nights can kind of be tough to keep up with. So let alone trying to keep up with the UFC fight night plus a PFL fight night, that'd be a pretty tough balance. But I do think for the bigger time PFL cards, not that we're going to have the biggest breakdowns, but we'll be there for the big fights, though, as far as giving our opinions and stuff like that.
Okay, he was asking about the PFL trading cards. Hey, I think that as far as PFL cards, they only have one set, and it's like $20. So if you just keep buying, you just keep buying the same cards again. Like they don't have like cards you open and get like the different cards. And if so, dude, who would I want? Like Kayla Harrison, maybe. But aside from that, it's like I guess I'm just not interested in it, dude. It's just most of the fighters have been to the UFC, not been good enough, so they've went down, or they've been to the UFC, been champion, now they've retired, and now they're in the PFL. I guess it's just not something that I'm interested in. I'm sure there'll be a few fighters like I'll be excited when Francis fights. But as far as trading cards, I probably won't be buying any, just because right now they only have one set, and once you buy it once, there's really no point. Here we go. I've thought about buying some PFL trading cards. They're pretty dope compared to UFC, it seems. UFC is number one in the world. Exactly. Are you an UFC fan? Are you an MMA fan or a UFC fan? I am an MMA fan, dude. I can appreciate everything, but I'm not a fan of certain promotions. You don't have to be a fan of every promotion to be an MMA fan. You can have criticism for every promotion. Like, I'm not saying every Bellator fight's awful, every PFL fight's awful, because it's not. I watched the Derek Brunson versus Ray Cooper III, and I was excited for it. But am I devoting my entire night to a PFL card? Absolutely not. No chance. And if you want that, there's plenty of other channels that'll give you that. But here, it is what it is. You can like it or you lump it. That's what we are over here. I'm not going to do anything I don't want to do on the channel, and I have a day job, my guy. So I just can't do it. I can't do it. I would love if you did one PFL trading card video. Maybe one day, man. Not anytime soon, though, just because it's got a lot of stuff on the horizon. Here we go. My favorite MMA promotion is Street Beefs. Yeah, and if you don't watch Street Beefs, are you even an MMA fan? I don't know if you can be.
No, I had to say, I can't even say it. No, I was going to say my favorite fight promotion is actually Rough and Rowdy. That's actually my favorite
Fight Circus. Fight Circus. Yeah. That's my favorite MMA promotion, dude. All right, up next, we are both on Kevin Jusay here. I spent way too much time there explaining myself. I don't need to do that. This is my channel. Whatever. Andre Muniz taking on the Iron Turtle, Jung Young Park. Andre Muniz, Sergio Pano. I didn't know that. Andre Muniz, I thought he was the black belt hunter, but it is what it is. No, that's Rodolfo Vieira. What am I talking about? The R? He used to be something. I forgot what it was. Anyway, the Iron Turtle, Jung Young Park, 17-5 overall. Andre Muniz, 23-6 overall. I used to like Andre Muniz until he fought Uriah Hall, when he would not go for the rear naked choke, was just going for the armbar, and that's it. Currently, odds for this are plus 144 for Andre Muniz, minus 186 for Jung Young Park. Andre Muniz, 33 years old, 6'1", 78-inch reach, while Iron Turtle, 32 years old, 5'10", 73-inch reach. Dude, I suspect Andre Muniz to win round one probably, and then probably start to gas out. Jung Young Park take over, and probably maybe even submit Andre Muniz late round two, early round three. Give me Iron Turtle to win this fight as not even a minus 200 favorite. Which way are you going this week, D-Rose?
Yeah, I think similar to you. I think Jung Young Park presents all the problems that Andre Muniz, that we've seen in his weaknesses for Muniz, and in the Brendan Allen fight especially. And we always do go back to that Uriah Hall fight, because it was super irritating to watch him just have a rear naked choke presented to you as well as he had against Uriah Hall.
Not presented,
and not even
to you,
attempted.
Dude. Not presented, dude. That shit was served on a silver platter in front of him for 13 out of the 15 minutes of the fight. It was just right in front of him. He's like, "Oh, give me this arm."
So that was, I think he lost a lot of stock there. And then if you go back to that Brendan Allen fight, Brendan Allen, I actually watched that fight the other day, dude. Brendan Allen ragdolled him. Picked him up with body slamming him. controlled him with ease once he was able to kind of get Muniz into those later rounds. And I think that's exactly how Jung Young Park fights. You know, if you go back to the oh my gosh, who did he fought the dude who Joaquin Buckley also beat
Albert Duraev.
Albert Duraev. I don't know why I was about to say the Kung Fu Panda, but I definitely mix him up with a different person. But yeah, in the Albert Duraev fight, same thing. Early on, Albert Duraev was hitting him with spinning kicks and landing big shots, but you know the Iron Turtle's able to stay out of the way of those big shots and rally late and get the finish. So I think that's exactly how it plays out in this fight for Jung Young Park. I think he gets a let's say round 2, round 3 submission.
All right, looks like we are both on Iron Turtle this week. Jung Young Park, probably late submission. You know, that'd be sick. Yeah.
I ended up getting him in round 3 or decision in that Albert Duraev fight, so that was really gut wrenching when he got the submission with like 10 seconds left in the second round. I was sick.
Yeah, that's how MMA works, dude. You can't call it, dude. Like you can be right. And you're right, but your bet still fell out because it's 10 seconds, dude. It's bullshit. Yep. Anyway, next fight, dude. We got Nasrat Haqparast taking on Jamie Mullarkey. Nasrat Haqparast 15-5. Jamie Mullarkey 17-6 overall. Currently odds for this plus 164 for Jamie Mullarkey. Nasrat Haqparast minus 215, the favorite. So Jamie Mullarkey, the underdog. Nasrat, the favorite. Nasrat, 28 years old, 5'10", 72-inch reach, while Jamie Mullarkey, 29 years old, 6 foot, and a 74-inch reach. D-Rose, I think I can't bet Jamie Mullarkey to win anymore, dude. It's like every time I do, he just gets knocked out. He'll be winning a fight and
or he makes you bite your nails down to the cuticle.
Yeah, one hook just fucking sleeps him after he's just winning the whole fight, dude. It's just like I can't do it, dude. I got Nasrat Haqparast to win this fight, probably via decision, dude. I guess if Nasrat had a decent left hook, I would be like, oh, he's 100% winning this fight. But I feel like he doesn't really throw the best hooks. He throws a lot of straight shots, and Jamie's pretty good about covering up straight. He gets clipped by hooks a whole lot, dude, and Nasrat don't really throw those. So with that being said, give me Nasrat to win this fight via decision. Don't feel good about it. Probably not going to be betting it. If I bet it, I'll probably be taking a shot at the Jamie Mullarkey side. But yeah, Nasrat Haqparast via decision. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
This fight's tough to call, and they were actually scheduled to fight earlier in the year. I believe Nasrat ended up having an injury in that fight, so I think that's when Mullarkey ended up taking the final short notice, ended up getting knocked out. But yeah, I think so. Nasrat does have good boxing. He's clean, but I think the big thing for him is that he doesn't have a lot of power, and he doesn't really use his kicks a lot. I mean, he uses his leg kicks every now and then, but he has mostly a boxing base with some wrestling. And I think Jamie Mullarkey, I think he's just a little bit more well-rounded. Now, I think the only thing he does leave his head on that center line a lot, Jamie Mullarkey does. So he does leave himself open there to get some big shots landed on him. And even John McDessie, even in the fight that, Mullarkey won, McDessie did present some problems late to him. But if I'm being honest, I could see this fight playing out similarly to that. I could see the fight being competitive. I could see Nasrat landing some big shots, but I think Jamie Mullarkey just a little bit more active. I think he's just fought. He's been a little bit more active here lately as well, so I think that's just not super active until the point where he's fighting like Jessica Andrade. But I think this would be his third fight this year, so I think staying in rhythm. I think that's a big thing for a lot of fighters, and I think Jamie Mullarkey can get it done here. So I'm taking a shot on the dog here. As my boy Nate said, we got the dogs barking out this weekend, and I think Mullarkey's one of them. So let's go Jamie Mullarkey here by decision. All
right, me and D-Rose on a third different fight this week. Jamie Mullarkey versus Nasrat Haqparast. As I said, don't feel great about it. I could see Jamie Mullarkey winning this fight. I just can't feel confident picking him. And shout out there, Goofrey, for the $1.99 super sticker, brother. Appreciate you, man, for donating your hard-earned dollars over here to listening to us two nerds give you our opinions on the fights and everything for this weekend. So third different pick, Jamie Mullarkey, Nasrat Haqparast, Moving on up, D-Rose. I believe this is going to be not co-main event yet, but we do have a late notice replacement. That is Sumu Darji taking on Tim Elliott, dude. So, let's say I'm getting a chance to meet Michael Chandler tomorrow. Going to get an auto of his bottle of tequila. Yeah, I guess that just recently came out. Chandler's new tequila. Yeah. So, I have an autograph howler head, but I got this when I went to Nashville. That's the Michael Chandler auto. I had a meet and greet in Nashville and got the howler head. Dude, that was only $20. Not bad, right?
Nice. Hell yeah.
Not terrible. Not terrible.
Especially to get the Chandler autograph on top of it. Hell yeah, that's definitely worth it.
Yeah, for sure. Can't mad at that. So, Derek Goofer, I hope you have a great time, brother. Good luck. Chandler's super cool. By far, one of the cooler fighters that I've met now, because I met a few now and met some that weren't that cool. But Chandler's a cool one, man. You'll have a good time. Just pretty dope overall. So yeah, let's move up to the next one. We have Sumu Darji taking on awkward Tim Elliott. So the Tibetan Eagle, Sumu Darji, 16-5 overall, won 3 of his last 5. Tim Elliott, 19-13-1 overall, won 3 of his last 5 as well. Currently, odds for this are, really, that's what we're doing. Odds for this are currently minus 150 for Tim Elliott, Sumu Darji plus 118, dude. Tim Elliott, super late notice, dude. I don't know. Sumu Darji, 27 years old, 5'8", 72-inch reach, while Tim Elliott, 36 years old, 5'7", and a 66-inch reach. Yeah, I doubt Tim Elliott makes weight, to be honest, because he's been putting on some pounds, and he looks like he's been struggling the past few times that he made weight. I think he's out here trying to find a new wife, as fucked up as that sounds, but out here putting on some muscle, trying to make his ex jealous. I don't think he makes weight. But with that being said, dude, Sumu Darji, I feel like gasses anyway. Tim Elliott can put the pressure on someone, gas them out. Dude, this is a hard fight. I'm probably going to take the over in the fight. But, yeah, give me the late notice Tim Elliott at a minus 150 to defeat Sumu Darji, probably via decision. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
This one's tough. I'm with you, especially with the late notice, and we saw Sumu Darji in his last fight with Matt Schnell. One of the better fights of last year, where he absolutely just kept flooring Matt Schnell until he just gassed out in that second round, and Matt Schnell took over. And as we know, Tim Elliott, coming in on late notice, he gives everybody a problem. No matter who it is, his style, as you said, awkward, and he can compete with anybody. But man, I think coming in on that short of notice is going to definitely going to take a toll on him. And shout out to you for your best John Anik impersonation with the Tim Elliott looking for a new wife thing. Doing your best John Anik impersonation there with the highly detailed personal information. But let's go Sumu Darji here. I think Sumu Darji he's got power, man, and he's young. Been off for a long time, so I think he's kind of been, getting his mind right and getting himself back in shape.
Oh, damn, son. Guess what, D-Rose?
What?
This fight's at 135.
Yeah.
I thought this was at 125.
I mean, dude, Sumu Darji is huge. That doesn't surprise me.
I guess I thought this was at 125, so I guess it
especially with it being short notice too, it would not surprise me that it's probably something that Tim Elliott probably asked him to do, and Sumu Darji, I'm sure he probably as I said, he's a big dude. He's probably like, hey, fuck it, I'll save myself 10 pounds as long as I get the fight. So
I'm sticking with my pick. Give me Tim Elliott still, even at 135. I thought it was. Personally, I thought it was going to be at 125. He was probably going to come in like 128. And just, not make the weight, but still have enough in the tank to, gas out Sumu Darji. But at 135, it's a little bit different. I'm not as confident in it as I was, but I'm still going to go Tim Elliott. I'm assuming you knew from the beginning you were going Sumu Darji.
Whether it was flyweight or bantamweight, I was going with Simi Darji.
All right, fair enough. Next fight of the night, we've got none other than Lionheart Anthony Smith taking on the Warhorse Khalil Roundtree Jr. I guess we'll see if he's the Warhorse this weekend, right? I don't know. You don't know which one's going to show up. Anyway, Anthony Smith, 37-18 overall, won 3 of his last 5. While Khalil Roundtree is 12-5, won 4 of his last 5. Currently, odds for this are Anthony Smith a plus 190 dog, Khalil Roundtree minus 250 favorite. Anthony Smith, 35 years old, 6'4", and a 76-inch reach, while Khalil Roundtree is 33 years old, 6'1", and a 76-inch reach. And D-Rose, I think the biggest difference here is just the level of competition that I think both these fighters have faced. And Anthony Smith, dude, even though, he hasn't looked great in his past few fights, dude, he still put up a fight and didn't give up on himself. As where, dude, you get Khalil Roundtree down one time, he's going to give up then. And depending on which one shows up, you don't even know, dude. Like, he's been showing up pretty good recently, but when does the Khalil Roundtree showing up looking good streak end? I don't know, dude. I think it might be this weekend. And, dude, the odds tell me that I am about to take a shot on Anthony Smith this weekend at almost plus 200, dude. Yeah, dude. I just feel like Anthony Smith going to be the bigger guy, can take Khalil down, and at worst, hold him there, win minutes, maybe even submit Khalil Roundtree. Give me Anthony Smith to defeat Khalil Roundtree this weekend. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
Yeah, I definitely like Khalil here, and big reason being is that I think Anthony Smith taking the fight on short notice is going to kind of hurt him as well, because I know that it was supposed to be Azamat Murzakanov that Khalil was supposed to fight, correct? Wasn't supposed to be Murzakanov, and then I think Murzakanov got sick last week or something like that, or it was something of that sort, to where it ended up being Anthony Smith this time around. And Anthony Smith, man, I'm telling you, just one thing: if he's going to be coming in doing that pussyfoot and stuff like he did with Johnny Walker and at some points in that Ryan Spann fight, dude, if there's one person you do not want to be going in there half-stepping with, it is Khalil Roundtree, because he will literally kick your ribs out of your body. Like, do not play around with that dude. Do not go in there thinking that you can kind of go in there, just get a quick payday, just stand in there for 15 minutes, because you get that killer version of Khalil Roundtree, and it's not going to be pretty. And, man, Khalil's got a lot of power. I think over his last few fights, he's shown a lot of his versatility. And, yeah, I think Khalil might even have a chance to knock Anthony Smith out here. As much as I love Anthony Smith, I think if we've seen Anthony Smith at certain points in fights, I think even in that Johnny Walker fight, he was kind of waiting for Johnny Walker to take him out. Johnny Walker didn't. You leave Khalil that type of opening, Khalil's going to take it and run with it. So I think Khalil knocks Anthony Smith out this weekend.
How could you disrespect a fellow friend of the channel like that, D-Rose? Got to go with the line. But, it is what it is. I understand your reasoning. It is late notice and all that. So I get it. Yeah, I don't know. Something tells me about this weekend that we don't see the Khalil Roundtree that we've been seeing the past few fights. I don't know. I will
say Anthony Smith's jiu-jitsu will give Khalil Roundtree a problem if he gets Khalil down to the ground, because Khalil is very weak when it comes to his jiu-jitsu defense. Anthony Smith doesn't have the greatest takedowns, though. He never has. He's just been good with his jiu-jitsu once he gets it to the ground, but he's never really been the greatest takedown artist to begin with. So,
all right. So, is that different pick number 5?
I think 4.
All right. Wait, I think you picked. I think 4 was Sumu Darji and.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yep, there he goes, and he's off, folks. Yeah, but I do think he's actually right with that 5th pick there, and yeah, we ain't going into the fight this weekend with 5 different picks. There's just no way that's going to happen. But should be an interesting fight there. There he is.
It is what it is. I clicked the wrong back button. It happens. Yeah. Pick number 4 or 5. Lush will tell us at the end because he's the man, and he's great. He's great at letting us know. Real quick, let's see what y'all got. Okay, yeah. Lush has got us, and we got AAA
Yes, sir.
78 full with the $2 donation. Much love. And do you look at amateur fights like IMMAF? I'll usually win if I'm watching that. It's just to go, like, for example, I looked at Victor Henry's IMMAF like fights, some of their fights, not all of them, because like you can't really find them all, or at least I couldn't find them all. And so I looked at like Victor Henry, Muhammad Makayev. If they have an like extensive amateur background, I'll take a look at it, see how they look, see how much they've changed from then to their pro fights. But do I watch it regularly? I do not. It's kind of mostly going back just to check to see what they looked like then, and then over the years, man. And Lush said he's got us. We have 5 so far, D-Rose, 5. And then my niece is about to compete for American Nationals in 2024. That's what's up, dude.
Yeah. Good luck to her.
Yeah. She's about the future 115 champ. That's what's up, dude. Well, I'm hoping for the best, dude. Good luck. Tell her good luck from none other than the Golden Octagon, dude. Yeah, maybe she'll be in the UFC one day, and we'll be like, yeah, we just knew about her from way back in the day, dude. But yeah, if you want to just like once she gets training and everything, once she gets fighting, not training, but like once she gets her once she actually starts to fight and everything like that, get her onto the channel. We'll have an interview, ask her how she how she feels about fighting, and like when she's going pro. If you got kids or relatives, put them on the amateurs. All right, fair enough. Last fight, main event of the night, D-Rose. Song Yadong versus none other than El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez. So if y'all haven't already, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button on this video. We would greatly appreciate that. So yeah, dude, main event time. Interest. Oh, I guess it's not sharing anymore because I backed out. You're probably like, what are you talking about? Here we go.
I don't see anything.
Yeah, right. I'm sitting here like, hey, do you see this, D-Rose? And you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Here we go. Song Yadong taking on the Kung Fu Kid. Song Yadong taking on El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez. Song Yadong, 27-1 overall, won 4 of his last 5. While El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez, 24-2 overall, and also won 4 of his last 5. Currently, odds for this are minus 430 for Song Yadong, plus 300 for El Guapo, Chris Gutierrez. Yeah, dude. Song Yadong, 26 years old, 5'8", 67-inch reach, while Chris Gutierrez is 32 years old, 5'9", and a 67-inch reach. So Chris Gutierrez is going to be an inch taller, but that's about it, dude. Yeah, I just, usually, I'm a Chris Gutierrez fan. I pick him to win quite often. I think he was going to fight Montel Jackson a few weeks ago, or about a month ago or so. And then the fight fell out, right? Am I thinking about someone else?
That sounds about right. That he was supposed to fight Montel Jackson.
Yeah, Montel Jackson about in October, and then a week later, fall Alatong Haley. That's what I thought. So yeah, dude. So I feel like that's quick, man. That's a lot of fights in a row, and then now it's a main event against Song Yadong, dude. I just feel like it's probably just a little. I mean, I'm a El Guapo fan, but Song Yadong just throws heat. He's got power, dude, and sometimes Chris Gutierrez kind of gets cracked. He does throw those leg kicks, gives a lot of people problems with the leg kicks, dude, but the answer to a leg kick is a fucking straight down the pipe, dude, and Song Yadong has that power, dude. So at some point, I suspect Song Yadong to just snooze Chris Gutierrez in this fight. Give me Song Yadong via knockout over Chris Gutierrez. Which way are you going this week, D-Rose?
I'm a big Song Yadong fan, so I definitely think he gets it done here. The betting line is way too high for me to feel comfortable betting, because I do realize that the danger that Chris Gutierrez holds, especially with those leg kicks, and that he fights at his own distance, so If he's able to kind of use his footwork and establish his distance, I could see him giving Song a little bit of a problem. But even in the fight that Song lost against Corey Sandhagen, yes, it was a TKO. In the wise words of Conor McGregor, tell him it's a doctor stoppage, because it was due to a cut. Because if you actually go back on the scorecards in that Corey Sandhagen fight, it was 2-2 going into that 5th round. Song Yadong was giving Corey Sandhagen every bit that he can handle. So I do think that Song Yadong is of that upper caliber of the division. We have seen a little bit of inconsistencies from him every now and then. Kyler Phillips fight, and as I said, the Corey Sandhagen fight. But dude's got power for days and speed on his side. He's got the youth on his side and training at a Team Alpha Male. I think if Gutierrez does tend to kind of use a little bit of his footwork, I can see Song actually using a little bit of his wrestling to kind of try to slow down Gutierrez, keep him in range, and then set up some big shots. I don't know if he finishes Gutierrez. I think it could go similarly. Hopefully not exactly how the Pedro Munez and Chris Gutierrez fight went. Chris Gutierrez got dropped with a big shot and kind of really didn't do too much after that. I can see similar in this fight. Song Yadong having Gutierrez eat some of that power, and Gutierrez almost kind of just looking at the clock and playing it safe until the end of the fight. So I think Song Yadong wins. I'd maybe do like a 4-5 decision if I was even betting on this fight, but based on that betting line, I probably won't bet on it because it's a little too heavy for me.
I mean, not a terrible parlay piece. I guess, just for the end of the night, minus 430, it's a perfect opportunity to hedge out, if you're, you just feel nice about it, just let it ride. But if not, just go ahead and bet Chris Gutierrez at, plus 300, I mean, what are you really losing there, But, yeah, we are both on Song Yadong this week. I just now saw this real quick, and I did want to mention this. How would you build a child for MMA career, kickboxing or jiu-jitsu first? Personally, brother, if you're in the U.S., nothing is better than wrestling, dude. Even D-Rose, even where we're from, dude. How many state championships did our high school win in a row, dude? It was
for
13,
wrestling, they won
13, 14 in a row.
From our high school.
From our high school, they went all over the country for strictly wrestling, dude. I think if for MMA, just seeing those dudes growing up and just looking at any MMA fighter now, dude, it's just that's got to be the best base, right? High school, college wrestling, it has to be the best base. So kickboxing or jiu-jitsu first, I would probably go neither one. I would go wrestling and then probably Muay Thai or kickboxing, because I feel like that would cover your other bases there. Jiu-jitsu, I feel like, it works, but, once you a D1 college wrestler is going to do disgusting things to any purple belt on the mat. It's just it's just bad, So just wrestling. That's my thing. Wrestling. Definitely reach out for interview when it's fight time. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. You guys pick different. Okay. So we got our different fights this weekend. D-Rose, 5 different ones. You get to pick. Pick number 1, Egger versus Santos. Stephanie Egger is going to be the dog. D-Rose is on the favorite in Live, Laugh, Love Santos. So let's go Stephanie Egger there. Pick number 2 is Mean Machine Steve Garcia versus Melky Costa, where D-Rose is on Mean Machine Steve Garcia, the dog, and I am on the favorite in Melky Costa. Third different pick is Nasrat Haqparast taking on Jamie Malarkey, where I am on the favorite Nasrat Haqparast. D-Rose on the dog, Jamie Malarkey. Pick number 4, Sumu Darji versus Tim Elliott, where I am on the slight favorite, Tim Elliott. D-Rose on the dog, Sumu Darji. And our 5th and final different pick this weekend is going to be Anthony Smith versus Khalil Roundtree, where I am on the dog, Anthony Smith. D-Rose on the pretty big favorite, Khalil Roundtree this week. So D-Rose, the floor is yours, man. I got the pick champ over here. I had it for a few weeks. You get 3 different choices out of that to try to win the pick champ back this weekend, and we'll go best 2 out of 3. See if you can win it back, dude. What's it going to be?
Let's go Roundtree, Smith, Elliott, Sumadarji, and then let's go Santos and Egger to round it
fair.
off there.
Yeah, that's the one I actually like, dude. I actually like that. So did you give me 3? Wait, so you went Edgar Santos,
Yeah.
Sumu Darji Elliott, and Smith Roundtree. Okay,
Yeah.
not terrible, not terrible. I only got 2 dogs there, and I'm all right with it. The Tim Elliott one I don't feel great about. It's at 135, but hey, this whole card is like something like, hey, what are we doing here? What are we doing? I really spent a lot of time this week trying to trying to like look at shit on these fighters and figure out what's the best options this weekend. I tried, but I don't feel great about it. I'm still don't feel great about it even after looking up stuff and talking here about it. But it is what it is. D-Rose, we've been here for almost 2 hours, man. So on a card that's not the best. We talked about it. A lot of news from Austin and fight news and everything like that. But good to be back, dude. Good to be back in the studio. Hopefully it sounds better on your guys' ears this week than it did last week. The view isn't as beautiful as it was last week, but, you know, it is what it is. Anything before we get out of here, D-Rose?
Nah, man. We should be good to wrap on that.
All right. Everyone in the comments, if you're hearing this now, hearing this later, wish D-Rose to get well. D-Rose got COVID right now. So, you know, he powered through the podcast, made it happen, you know, and we appreciate it. We appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Lush. At least we have a banger next week. And indeed we do. No problem, y'all. Appreciate all y'all for stopping by. My name is Matt. D-Rose is on that side of your screen. This has been the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. Remember, if you're spending your hard-earned money this weekend, remember, at the end of the day, it is a fist fight, and anything can happen. So keep that in mind. You never really know. That's going to be all from us, Matt and D-Rose, and we'll catch y'all next week. Peace.